Hi friends, good morning. Whew, I'm out of breath. I've just done the school drop off. I have my little kids home now watching a cartoon. I am going to try to get ready and go see Aaron in the hospital this morning. I didn't set my alarm last night. I failed miserably to do that. And I almost slept in because I hadn't slept in, I don't know, over 48 hours, I think, up till last night. And then last night, it's like everything's kind of a blur right now. So I just wanted to update you guys and let you know what's going on with Aaron. I'm going to head to the hospital today, and hopefully I can be with him most of the day. I've got 2 people that can switch off watching my kids, and then I've got 3 of my kids back at school, which ended up being a blessing because we were thinking about pulling them from school this part of the year and homeschooling them. Aaron was going to homeschool them, but we can't now. So the kids are back in school, like I said, which is a blessing because that gives me space to find a care provider, somebody to take care of the little kids so that I can go be with him in the hospital. So, okay, you're asking what happened. Aaron's been off and on sick for quite a while. He's currently med boarding from the military. It is a medical, like an early medical retirement because of his health condition. He has a lot of diagnoses. A lot of you have been here since we've been going to the neurologist. We've been dealing with all of his symptoms, just trying to figure out like what's going on with him. He's very descriptive. He goes to the doctor a lot because he's in this medical evaluation board and because of his health conditions. He's in the doctors, he's in therapies, he's doing a lot of stuff, right, for his health to get better. Over the weekend, he's been walking, but over the weekend, he really wanted to get his steps in, so he did, I don't know, like 16 to 18 miles. I can't remember the number he said, but he walked a lot. He took the kids out in the woods on hikes into the golf course, which is closed because of the snow, but they have walking trails, and he just walked and walked because he's been feeling really bad, and he thought, well, if I go exercise and like get my endorphins going and all of that. He was having pain in his stomach. For about 3 weeks now, he's had digestive issues. He didn't feel like anything was passing through his body. He felt like things were stuck. And for about 6 months or even closer to a year, he's been saying he does this thing and he goes, I feel something, but it's the other side. So he'll go, let me see if I can show you. He'll go, I feel stuck right here. He's like, nothing's moving past right here. And he like, every day he touches his belly. He's like, something's stuck right there. Something's not right. And every day I'm like, go to the doctor, go to the doctor. So he's been to the doctor many times for this issue. And the doctors just were like, well, if it's diverticulitis or something, if you start vomiting, if you get a fever, whatever, then you need to go into the emergency room. So he saw her on like a Wednesday or a Thursday. And then Sunday, all right, my days are a blur, so the days don't even matter at this point, right? Because what day is it? I don't even know. He was having intense abdominal pain. He started vomiting a lot, and everything he was vomiting was just liquid, and he's like, I don't know why I'm vomiting so much liquid, and it was like, he was just like vomiting and vomiting and vomiting, and what was happening was his small intestines is... Sorry, I'm doing a collaboration with my friend Tabitha from This Mama's House, and I just uploaded a video that I pre-recorded a long time ago, and she was just texting me. So if you guys haven't already, go watch that video that I just put up this morning, and then head over to This Mama's House channel and watch her video and give her a subscribe. She's an amazing inspiration to me, and I know she'll be the same for you guys. Okay, now let's get back on track. So he went in to the ER on Sunday night, and he had a CT scan. His small intestines is completely blocked at this point. So nothing's getting by, and the only way for anything to exit his body is through his mouth, is throwing up. So I was like, go to the ER, go to the ER, this something's wrong. He was having severe stomach pain in this area. He just had severe tummy pain right there. It was getting worse and worse and worse. He was double over in pain on the floor. I was planning to take him to the hospital. It was like 9:30 at night. He was like, I can get myself there. I said, okay. So I stayed home with the kids. He got himself to the hospital, and they did a CT scan where they found that his small intestines, near where it connects to his large intestines, was completely blocked. And they said there was probably 3 weeks or so of backed up food, or backed up digested food in there, just compacted. So they've stuck a GI tube up his nose and down his throat into his stomach, and they pumped out like a big jug of stuff from his stomach that night. And the GI tube is still in his nose. He's very uncomfortable. He's miserable. He can't move because, okay, it took them 3 tries to get the GI tube up into his nose. He has a deviated septum. He has sleep apnea. He has inflammatory sinus disease, or I'm not sure like what the phrase is, but he recently had a CT scan of his head, and they discovered like his sinuses are all inflamed and bunged up and not good, probably from the sleep apnea, probably from everything from his military career, all the toxins, exposures, all the inflammation, everything. His body is so inflamed and so angry. His intestines are so inflamed and so angry. So they have the GI tube in. He can't move in his bed without assistance. He can't get up and go to the bathroom without assistance. So he's like using like the urinal and things like that, but he can't move in bed because everything is so raw, and he's in so much pain and discomfort. And every time he shifts or moves, that tube wiggles around in there, and his nose was bleeding. His throat is raw. It was hell for him. So that was at 2:00 in the morning. That's when he texted me and he said, hey, can you get here? I'm like, it's 2:00 in the morning. How am I going to get there? Who am I going to call? What am I going to do? His anxiety was just through the roof. He had a panic attack. He threw up all over the nurses, and I couldn't be with him. And then he took a picture and he was like, hey, I got my GI tube in. But that smile was only to like reassure me and reassure the children that he was okay. He's not okay. He's absolutely miserable. He's in a ton of discomfort. His belly pain is gone. I don't know if that's because of medication that they gave him. I know it's because they removed so much fluid from his stomach. So what happened was nothing could pass. So his stomach was just producing like tons and tons of bile. His intestines were producing tons and tons of bile to try to get this stuff to pass through, right? So all of that accumulated, causing the pain. His belly was so full of bile. Are they able to fix the small intestinal issue? I don't know. I'm going there today. I'm going to get ready now and take my kids to my friend's house and drop them there, my 2 little ones. I'm going to go to the hospital. He has a CT scan today to see if... So what happens is they relieve all the pressure from his belly with the GI tube, so they're able to take everything off of his belly, and then they're going to... The GI tube is still in. It's not really sucking anything out, so we're hopeful that things are moving. His belly's actually making noise, so it sounds like things are moving through. The CT scan today, he still has diarrhea, so he's not had a solid stool pass through yet. So he's had like diarrhea and what he calls razor blades for a couple weeks now, but nothing significant passed through. So like, when you have a good poop and like stuff isn't really coming out. And so he still hasn't had a bowel clearing, like where everything moved out. So he's just having like liquid diarrhea. Sorry to be graphic, but they're going to scan his belly today, see if anything's moving through, see if there's anything in his large intestines now, see if the blockage has cleared. If it has cleared, then they can remove the GI tube and he can come home. The blockage is cleared, right? What they saw on the CT scan was a ton of scar tissue. Sorry, my hand's shaking really bad. They saw a ton of scar tissue on the CT scan. They can't really tell what's going on in there because of all the inflammation. His bowels are just so angry and inflamed that you can't really see like a lot of the details of what's going on. So what one of the doctors yesterday recommended was after his bowels settle down, to have an endoscopy through his mouth down into his belly, and then y'all know what it is. Why is my brain blanking? The thing where they stick it up your bum. So, colonoscopy. That's scary because he's young. He's a little too young for that, and they blow air up into your rectum or into your intestines so that the camera can see everything. So that's a little bit scary because of the damage it can do and the things it can introduce and the things that can happen. I don't know. So they don't really want to do the colonoscopy and the endoscopy if they don't have to, which they have to because there's something wrong, and they think that there's something really wrong, and they got to figure it out. So they want to do biopsies of his intestines and figure out if he has inflammatory bowel disease. He's got scar tissue. They're not sure. Like, he did have a hernia surgery when he was a child. There's a ton of scar tissue, so they think that might be everything's getting hung up on the scar tissue and not passing through. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, you guys. I'm learning as much as I can about this. I'm just trying really hard to... Thank you. Just breathe. Oh my gosh, I need to breathe. Just got to be there for him because I don't want him to be alone. So I've got to wrap this up and get to the hospital. It's just not an easy situation. It's really uncomfortable, and hopefully we get some answers today. Pray that the obstruction has moved. He's very homesick. He misses his babies. The only thing he kept saying to me yesterday was, I need this G-tube out. I want to go home. I need this G-tube out. I want to go home. And that's just basically all he wanted to express to me. And if I could, I would have picked him up and carried him out of there and ripped that G-tube out of his nose. But we know that we have to get this thing cleared from his bowels because he can't eat. You know, it's very dangerous. If you have a bowel obstruction, it can turn deadly pretty quickly. So we have to get this bowel obstruction removed so that he can move on with healing and getting a diagnosis and all that kind of stuff. So yes, God is with him. And he's very optimistic. He always has an optimistic outlook. He's just one foot in front of the other, keep rising, right? So gonna sign off here. I'm gonna feed myself. I failed to feed myself enough yesterday. Thankful for my friend Penny. I came home to grab some stuff for Aaron that I had forgotten, and she was here with my kids, and she packed me like a big bag full of snacks, full of hydrating drinks, electrolyte drinks. And she sent me on my way back to the hospital with that bag of goodies. I wasn't able to eat much, but I'm just really appreciative that she was able to give me food. And yeah, so today, same drill. Hopefully, I don't know if she's texted me back yet or not, but same drill. I've got to check with my neighbor, see if my neighbor can watch the kids or see if they're going to my friend's house. I'm not sure. I've got to pick the big kids up at school at 3, and then maybe I'll have somebody watch them so that I can go back and be with Aaron this evening if he's not discharged already. But if they can't get if they can't get the obstruction cleared, the next thing is surgery. So let's pray that this thing clears, because we know if he has surgery, that's going to create more scar tissue, that's going to create more problems, more things down the road possibly. I mean, we just don't know the ramifications of that on his health. He's already had the hernia surgery when he was a child, and there's a bunch of scar tissue in there. We don't know if that scar tissue is from that hernia, because they said it looks like a lot of scar tissue, or if it's, I don't know. He's had digestive issues our whole marriage. And so they said that this situation could have been going on for a really long time, where things weren't completely clearing out of his bowels for a very long time, and they just slowly built up. I know that he's had tons of GI issues since we've been married. So hopefully, maybe this explains it, right? Maybe this is the answer to why his health has been so bad this past year, but for the last 9 years, with his chronic migraines, with his hearing issues, his ear issues, his neuro issues, and everything that has to do with all the stuff that he's being medically retired for. I'll be here all day going down the list of things, but at this point, it's over 12 diagnoses that he's being medically retired for. 12 disqualifying conditions. It's more than 12. And at this point, this is another one, whether it's inflammatory bowel disease or whatever it is. It's just another thing to put on his list of career-related health problems, because stress can also cause obstructed bowels. There's a lot of things that can cause an obstructed bowel. So we don't really know. We can assume and guess, but until they get in there for surgery and look around, which I don't know if they're going to operate, let's pray that they don't have to. So thank you all. There's a bunch of new people here, from Tammy at Cluttered Mother. It's Cluttered Mother Off Grid. Go check out her page. She's amazing. She's one of my close internet, what do we call this, YouTube friends. So I've got lots of amazing YouTube mamas that are my personal friends that live all over the country. So Tammy from Cluttered Mother, she's a real gem. They're starting their off-grid life. They're amazing. Her and her husband Chris and all their children, they have a large family. They're moving off-grid, and they moved off-grid in the middle of winter, so that takes some cojones, if you know what I'm saying. And they're just awesome. So go check out Cluttered Mother, Tammy at Cluttered Mother Off Grid, and go check out Tabitha from This Mama's House. They've just been real awesome and supportive during this time. They've been messaging me and checking in on me, as have all of you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for praying for my family. I'm exhausted. I want to cry. I feel helpless. My husband's struggling and suffering, and it sucks. And nobody should have to go through that alone. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm gonna sign off here. I'm gonna try to get my rear to the hospital, take care of these babies, and I will see you guys. I'm gonna try to get some videos edited while I sit with him in the hospital. He hasn't been sleeping well, so when I'm there, he actually sleeps. I think it's like he feels safe because I'm there with him, and he knows that I'm gonna take care of him. So he's able to sleep. I know, you tripped over mommy's foot. So I'm gonna get in there, see if I can help him get some rest. I'll be able to edit some videos while I'm sitting there in the quiet. He does have a roommate in his room. It's not an ideal situation, but is what it is. And we're just thankful that he was able to get some help and some relief from the pain and all that kind of stuff. So thank you guys so much. And I'll try to update again soon when I have any more information, whether or not he's gonna go into surgery. I will keep updating you guys. So keep praying for him. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys soon. Let me see if I can get out of here. It's always fun, like, trying to get out of FaceTimes with people. Okay, my friend's home with the kids, so she's gonna watch them. It's always fun trying to get out of FaceTimes or lives or whatever. So it says, are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yes, I do. I'm gonna go back and see if I can read all of your all's comments. I haven't been able to catch them yet because I was running my mouth. So thank you, Sarah. Check out Sarah over there at Homesteading Hustle. She's commenting now. She's also in an amazing YouTube mama. I love her channel. She's awesome. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, bye.